What's up everybody, it's Luke James, not the singer. If you're an indie artist looking for an album review and some promo, you can hit up Luke at redmattersite.com. And what I have today is my review for Chris Brown and Tyga's new album, Fan of a Fan. Not to be confused with their old mixtape called Fan of a Fan. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I really wasn't looking forward to reviewing this album because based off of the singles that I heard, I figured that this was going to be one of those simple, uninventive albums, and that's exactly what it is. But people have asked me to review this, and regardless of how I feel, I'm sure a lot of people love this album or are curious about it, so this is just my opinion. Now I'm not going to take the easy way out and just bash this album to smithereens, because it's alright for what it is, and I get what they were going for. It's just a simple, fun album made for going to the club, being in the club, partying before the club, listening to in the strip club, etc. But I find that a lot of these songs sound way too similar, and there's just not much to be said about the content. If you're a fan of Chris Brown and Tyga, I'm sure that you'll be satisfied with this album, but if you're not a fan, or you're someone who likes thought-provoking lyrics and interesting production in their hip-hop, this album isn't for you. Now, even though DJ Mustard only produced a couple of songs on here, a lot of these beats make use of the same style, drums, and sound effects that he's made popular lately and is known for. Stuff like that fat Moog bass, hand claps, bells, etc. The songs Nothing Like Me with Ty Dolla $ign, I Bet with 50 Cent, Ayo, Real One with Lil Boosie, Bitches and Marijuana with Schoolboy Q, and She Going Up are perfect examples of what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying that every song on here sounds 100% the same, but a lot of them are so basic and similar that even after a first listen, you get kind of bored because it feels like you've already heard these songs already. I mean, it's generally a good thing when an album flows and is cohesive, but as you make your way through these tracks, you not only hear the same sounds, you also hear some very similar melodies, like on the songs Bitches and Marijuana and Real One, for just one example. And then content-wise, there's not much to be said either. The whole album is pretty much just clubbing, partying, bitches, drinking, drugs, sex, etc. And they don't really bring any compelling concepts or put any different spins on any of this content. And I found that the guest appearances on this album suffered because of that. All the guests were pretty much limited to spitting about this same old typical content, because that's just the overall theme of this album, so I don't really blame the guests very much. But still, T.I. brought a nice fast flow on Bunkin', 50 Cent did his thing on I Bet, and on Don't Get It Fucked Up, it was pretty cool how Tyga and Pusha T borrowed some flows from Forgot About Dre and Big Pimpin'. And Chris Brown actually snapped with some double time flow on that song, so I think that track was the best spot on the entire album. Also, the beat on Don't Get It Fucked Up is hard and dingy, so it sticks out from the rest of the production. There are also some slow jams on here too, so for just a couple of examples, there's the song Better, where Chris Brown croons and Tyga raps about how they should have treated a girl better, and Fat Trell joins Tyga and Chris to drop a sexually charged verse on Lights Out. Again, typical songs with typical content. And if you're a fan of Wale, he drops a mediocre verse on the song It's Yo Shit, which to me kind of sounded like an updated, extra funky reworking of Cameo's song Single Life, but just a little bit. So the last thing I have to add is that there are some moments on this album where the flows and deliveries are actually kind of tight. But then when you hear what's being said, it doesn't even matter because it's nothing interesting. And I don't have much more to say about this album, so I give it a 2.5 out of 5. It's good for what it is, just some simple, fun, party, turn-up music, but there's nothing overly interesting and innovative going on here. That's just what I thought, but you guys hit me up in the comment section to let me know what you think of Chris Brown and Tyga's Fan of a Fan album. And as usual, do all that other good YouTube and social media stuff, where you like my videos, you share them, you retweet them, you follow me on Twitter, and especially subscribe to my channel. That's the one that helps me out the most. I'll see you next time.